Okay guys, I got something to show you. I'm turning the radio off. I don't need YouTube making free money off of me like they did on my last video. I could barely hear the music, but they tagged me on it. Okay. Now, we're going to work on this in a minute, but I want to talk about the Corolla. Corolla's been idling really bad. It almost sounds like when you pull alongside of it, it's like an import with a race cam in it. But unfortunately, I'll fill that tank and go 2 weeks with it. I went 4 days with it and used 3/4 of a tank of gas. So I knew it was time to work on it. So yesterday I popped the hood while it was running. It's running like a bag of shit. It's rich. It's burning my eyes. And I look at I look around at the basics. I always say check the basics first. No scan tool in hand, nothing needed. You look at the basics. And I look at what will control the fuel mixture on that relic. And that car's got 4 injectors and a cold start injector. So I said to myself, maybe the cold start injector is dripping. But I look at it, there's no way to pinch it off. So I said, let me get even more basic than that. And I just start looking around. And I look up at the map sensor. And I see the map sensor's like angled down ever so lightly. Okay, so if this was the map sensor, it's just like bent down. And there's a harness underneath it. And I see the vacuum hose coming like this and coming out like at a 45. There it is. This is the way it went on. So this was towards the map sensor. The crack was in the back, and I'm going to turn it sideways, and the harness was holding it open. Okay, now for the people that don't know, the map sensor measures how much engine vacuum you have, and it'll use that with a bunch of other calculations and determine what your fuel mixture is going to be. So for argument's sake, on this particular car, 0 is if the car is not running, that's atmospheric pressure. Which, for simpletons, that's the right way to do it, but in reality it's not a real number. So 0 would be as if you had the car to the floor and you were going up a hill and you weren't really drawing much into the engine, so it knows it has to richen it. So with that said, if you put a crack in it, which this has, okay, this thing reads low. So instead of reading 18, 19, 20, when it's sitting there idling, I'm just going to pick a number. It might read 12. So with that said, it does its calculations and it enriches it. And since the system is so primitive on that car, okay, it never really compensates for it. So basically what you do is dump fuel, and through the whole process of driving the car, unless you have it to the floor, your vacuum reading's always going to read lower than it is, so the car's always going to run rich. With that said, I pulled the hose off, pulled out a razor blade that I had in the car, gave it a quick cut, put it back on, solved. So we're good to go again. I just wanted to show you that sometimes something that could be so drastic could be either a free repair or just something really cheap, inexpensive, something you don't have to drop off to somebody to have looked at. You just have to go back to the basics. So later I'll open up the hood, we'll show you what I'm talking about. Actually, I'll open it up now. Okay, so there it is in its glory. Here's your map sensor right here. So this bracket was bent down, and because it was bent down, the vacuum hose right here was rubbing right there. You can see the shiner on it. Okay, and if I look, that's the steel line for the power brakes, for the booster. So, because of that, it put a slit in it, and it wasn't getting the correct reading, and it's a very short hose. Here's your primitive idle compensation for when your AC comes on. There's your cold start injector. Ooh, man. But like I said, there was no way to pinch off the fuel because here's the metal line to it. Okay, they were your regular injectors. So It's old school, guys. Here you go. This is before B2. It's grease in there. So, like I said, sometimes it's just a matter of looking around, guys. So I'll tell you one thing, this thing's gonna need a radiator. It is starting to seep from all the seams. And it looks like it has a crack right there. So that's it, guys.